Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing really well during this international break. And I have to say, it's a welcome respite away from the highs and lows of club football. I will always enjoy watching Watford home and away, but it has been a very chaotic season with our results and managerial changes. Just for my emotions, really, I feel I needed several weeks away from the club, and I'm already starting to feel a bit more zen at the moment. Today, you can treat this video as a quick Watford news update, and we'll also discuss later on our defender dilemma heading into the summer transfer window. I do think that's an interesting point of discussion. We'll start with, of course, though, the international break. 11 Hornets on duty this month, 2 of which I believe are in the World Cup playoffs. Now, of course, a lot of nations have already qualified for the World Cup automatically. They know they are going to be in America this summer. Some, though, however, have to go through the playoffs, and that is the case for James Abankwah with Ireland, and of course Edu Kayembe with the DR Congo national team as well. So best of luck to those two. Hopefully they can get to the World Cup this summer. It's always good to see the Hornets in international tournaments. The other big news of the past 24 hours or so has been the release and publication of the official club accounts. I would urge you to go on social media and read analysis of this from more informed fans than me who have expertise in that area. And also the Watford Supporters Board, who are newly formed, have released a great breakdown across their socials and also on their website, talking all about these accounts. It's a 5 or 6 page document, and I would urge you to go and read that as well. My initial conclusion from looking at everything myself is that we are still very much heavily reliant on owner funding and, most importantly, player sales. We've known that Watford are a selling club. Pretty much every club within football is a selling club, bar the top 5 or 6 teams in the top divisions of each country. Every club needs to sell players for profit to make themselves sustainable, and Watford have to continue doing that. We are fortunate this summer in that we have a lot of high value potential assets at the club currently. Imran Louza, of course, is someone who we all know is going to leave. It's probably the world's worst kept secret at this current moment in time. Othmane Mama, in my opinion, is a prime candidate to be sold on as well. In an ideal situation, if our finances were in a better place, Othmane Mama is someone you would love to hold on to. I wish Watford had kept Ismail Kone for a year longer. The same can be said for João Pedro or Yassir Espria as well. But given our current league status and our financial situation, that just quite simply isn't possible. So that's a major frustration for me, the fact we are having to sell on these players probably a year too early just to keep the lights switched on. Something notable as well within the accounts also was that Scott Duxbury has finally taken the pay cut he promised us a couple of years ago. If you remember, I asked him the question here on the Watford Way when we were invited by the club to speak to Scott, and I said, how can you justify, your really high salary at the time? I think his salary was just in excess of £1 million per annum, which was extraordinary really for a championship CEO to be earning. He's taken a 50% pay cut, just below £500,000, I believe, by looking at the accounts. And whilst that's still significant, at least he has stuck to his word and taken that reduction. And to end on the account, some key bullet points here from Kieran Maguire on X. He runs a really good football finance podcast called The Price of Football. I would urge you to go and check that out. Some key bullet points, though, from him are that Watford's revenue has dropped significantly by 55%. That's down to £26 million, in part, of course, due to the lack of Premier League parachute payments. Wages have dropped as well 15% to £8.1 million. Our wages to revenue percentage is particularly interesting as well. That is 108%. That essentially means that every pound Watford earn in revenue, they are paying out £1.08 in wages, which is very significant indeed. As we discussed as well, our highest paid director in Scott Duxbury has taken a big salary deduction. That's down to £471,000 per annum. Player sale profits are down at £15.8 million, and interest costs on the loans we have currently are at £3.5 million. Plenty more there to dive into. As I said, go and check out Kieran Maguire's thread on Twitter. The Watford Supporters Board as well have also done a good breakdown on their website of the accounts too. So we'll leave that there and move on to the main topic of today's video, which is the defender dilemma. Now, you might be thinking, James, defender dilemma, what the hell are you talking about? Let me explain, okay? When you look at our centre-backs currently contracted to Watford, there are only two on permanent deals in Matty Pollock and Kevin Caben. The other four in Stephen Mfuni, Formose Mendy, James Abankwah and Sabagogla Chitse are only on loan. If Watford opt to not buy any of those or extend their deals for an additional season, we are left with just two central defenders heading into next season. And this is now, for me, going to become a real focus in terms of recruitment for the summer transfer window. What we need, in my opinion, is a long-term partner for Matty Pollock. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would love Matty to receive a new contract this summer and also appoint him as captain. The next stage for Watford after that is to then look for the right profile of player to play alongside Matty on the left-hand side. We've seen glimpses of the potential this season. Max Lane, when he was here, was unbelievable next to Matty. Stephen Mifuni, I would say slightly less so, but it shows that when you have a left-footed player on that side, both centre-backs then kind of up their levels even more. So for me, and let me know if you agree in the comments down below, the focus this summer has to be on, of course, having more depth in the area with players on permanent deals, not just loans, but then also having a partner for Matty. That has to be, for me, a huge focus on our recruitment. I'd love to also get a proper deputy for Mark Boller at left back. Stephen Mifuni played that role somewhat when he was fit and available, but he wasn't necessarily a natural in that position. There's a lot of work to be done. You know, I'm already talking about the summer transfer window here with you today, but yeah, there's lots and lots to do, and that's just with our defenders, let alone our midfield and our attacking players to come as well. I think a striker clearly has to be worked on as well. I would look to loan out one of Mamadou Doumbia or Vivaldo Semedo. We're going to lose some wide players too. Othmane Mama is probably on his way out. Rocco Vata might want to change given the injuries he's had at Watford. It's going to be very exciting, very interesting, but also nerve-wracking at the same time. When you take everything into account, our finances, our squad depth, number of loans we have, it does feel like this summer is going to be extremely busy with both incomings and more notably the outgoings we'll see as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed in the comment section down below. I'm using for the first time my new microphone today too, so hopefully you noticed a change in sound quality. Plenty more content to come over the international break. I'm going to do a video ranking players' performances this season in a tier list, so hopefully that's a good watch. And then we'll be looking ahead to QPR on Easter Friday and Charlton and Nathan Jones coming to Vicarage Road on the Easter bank holiday Monday too. Not long to go now until the end of this season. 7 games to play, and then it's a summer transfer window and World Cup. I cannot wait. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.